حسنة. Why do I put my attention on my breath while doing meditation?
Meditation is concentrating on any issue, one issue. That issue should be breath, because breath gives you connection to the cosmic energies. You can chant a mantra, you can have a blue spot, you can do anything, but something should be there. And it is the best thing to have the breath as your focus. Okay. All the spiritual scientists have come to that conclusion after series of experiments with everything else, with a mantra, with a sight, with a japamala, with a name chanting, and with the breath. They have done all those experiments and found out that the breath is the best thing. See, when you go to a market, you go to the best fellow, isn't it? All kinds of people are there in the market, selling the same product. But one fellow is the highest quality, isn't it? So you go for the highest quality. Similarly, in the field of meditation also, there are so many meditation techniques, but you go to the best. And that best is breath. It's up to you. If you want to be the best, then you have to go for the best.
Dear friends, a very good evening and very good morning to the people joining from the West. So, I welcome you all for today's master class, Applied System by Professor Jagadish. So, before listening from Jagadish sir, we will be practicing the meditation. The meditation which we practice here is called as breath mindfulness meditation. Breath mindfulness meditation is all about observing our own natural breath. So, before starting the practice of breath mindfulness meditation, we practice a method called heart elevation. Heart elevation is a process where we come up with an enhanced emotions like gratitude, compassion to elevate our heart emotions, and it elevates our meditation experience as well. So, friends, we all will practice a meditation first. I'll be playing the music. We all will sit in meditation. Yeah.
Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, with your hands on your chest area, resting your attention on your heart center. Connect with your beautiful heart. With your attention on your heart center, with a slow, long, relaxing breath, to feel. Your beautiful heart. Feel the seed of all emotions. Nurturing all life. With its energies of love, compassion, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your past? Or from the vision of your future, where you feel enormous love, joy, gratitude? Or simply bring up an experience in the present, smelling a flower, playing in water, taking a walk in nature, helping somebody in need. Imagine and bring up that moment and feel that energy. Relive that moment and feel that energy. And allow yourself to spread that energy onto everything and everyone on this planet, or to someone who is in need, to help them heal, to help them elevate themselves. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. We're all deeply interconnected. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. We are in a powerful group meditation, harnessing the energies of the group. When you observe your breath, your mind slowly becomes empty. As the mind is becoming less and less of thought, calmer and calmer, allow yourself to experience that greater calmness inside of you, emptiness all around you. yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience emptiness, that calmness. All emptiness is energy. This is the quantum field of energy. The field of limitless possibilities. The longer you stay connected to this emptiness, blackness of no body, of no thing, the more experiences you draw into your life. It is natural to have thought. When you recognize you are in thought, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to slowly go into that emptiness, that field of light. We are less matter, more emptiness and energy. The longer we stay in the empty states of mind, the more you transcend your body, you go beyond matter, you experience emptiness and energy. Relax, dear friends. You planted seeds of possibilities. You primed your subconscious. Recognize that whatever you emotionally embrace is manifesting into your physicality. Be grateful for this opportunity to create. Be grateful for to everything and everyone who will help you to create this future. Your gratitude to your parents, teachers, mentors, family, friends, everyone in your life. To this grand nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals, to technology, all systems, governments, companies, to yourself, and to this intelligent quantum field for helping us experience, helping us create a new life. Gratitude moves us into coherence and helps us draw and create more. Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What have you experienced? Whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then you may open your eyes.
Welcome back, friends. Hope you all had a very great meditation. So, before listening from Jagadish sir about uplaying system theories, I would like to have a small introduction about Jagadish sir. It is an honor to introduce our distinguished speaker, Professor S. Jagadish, a highly respected academician and expert in management, information systems, and software project management. Professor Jagadish spent nearly 30 years as a professor at the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, where he taught in the areas of quantitative methods and information systems, and also served as an in charge of the CAT examination center. He later became the founder director of the Asian School of Business, Trivandrum, contributing significantly to institutions building. Currently, he continues his association with IIM Bangalore as a visiting professor and is a visiting facility and mentor at several management institutions. Academically, he holds degrees in physics and mathematics, engineering and electronics and management from IIM Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and is a recipient of prestigious Ford Foundation and ENDP fellowship. In addition to academia, Professor Jagadish has extensive industry and public sector experience, including serving as Vice President at Gallup USA Limited, a subsidiary of Gallup USA. His research and consultancy work focuses on information systems, software project management, business process engineering, and the impact of IT on Indian banking. Most recently, he has been associated with the Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship, mentoring fellows across multiple Indian states. With his vast experience spanning academic, industry, and public policies, Professor S. Jagadish brings valuable insights to today's session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking up this session on today. So, over to you, sir. Waiting eagerly to listen from you. Sir, your volume is very low. You are on.
Okay.
You have
One minute.
unmuted yourself, but your volume is low.
Is it now? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Or
Now
should
it
I
is clear.
change? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
now.
Now, can I help me share my screen, please?
You're already a co-host, sir. You can share your screen.
Okay, correct. Fine. Thank you, Laldi, for reading. Greetings, friends and masters. Purnamada Purnamidam. Purnat Purnam Mudhyachate. Purnasya Purnamadhyaya. Purnamevavashyasate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is complete, and this is complete. From the completeness comes this completeness. If you take completeness away from completeness, only completeness remains. Peace, peace, peace. This is the Shanti Patha associated with the Isha Upanishad. Now, why did I bring this up? Other than trying to grab your attention, it is because what we are dealing with when you talk about systems, Cosmos is a complete system. And there's a kind of wholeness about it, which we are still trying to understand, both from the astrophysics point of view as well as the quantum physics point. My interest in systems theory goes back from my engineering days, where we talked about things like radar systems. Then I spoke about electronic systems, other systems. Then I talk about organizational systems. And then, of course, spiritual, philosophical systems. My idea is not to bombard you with all these vastness of this theory. My idea is to bring it down to where you and I can it applies to us in everyday world in a kind of spiritual way. Actually, it was Ludwig von Bertalanffy as early as 1949 came up with this theory called general systems theory. He was a botanist and a philosopher. He found there's a lot of chaos out there, and he thought, can I look at all these chaos into a kind of a system? When he was looking at it, he said, everything, even physics, chemistry, or whatever mathematics, all of them try to explain these things. So there must be some theory that covers all of this, the theory of theories, and which is why it called, try to bring in, propose a theory called the general systems theory. This was grabbed by mathematicians who love abstraction, who tried to explain everything through a system of equations, mathematical equations. And it took off tangentially through what is called a global modeling, where they use a system of equations, econometric equations. For example, the World Bank used it to plan economic system. For example, the whole planning of Philippines those days was developed through a global modeling process. Russia always used this to determine its health system, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, behavioral scientists talked about more referring to organizational systems, and particularly one, Miller, looked at it from the point of view of living systems. Now, for us as seekers, what is all this in for us is what we talk about. So let's look at, in a very simplistic way for us, what is the system. Take this mobile phone that we normally use, very, very popular with. It is a system because it has a purpose. Its system is to enable communication. In order to do that, there are several components within this, several items, entities, components, scale, which are placed together, organized in such a way that they interact with each other to give you the purpose for which this system was designed. And these components, etc., come, of course, from the outside world, which is another system. Right? Now, only problem is this system, like the mobile phone, is a non-living system in the sense that if you leave it as it is, any long time, it just remains as it is. Except that, many years later on, the external environment, like dust, may settle on it, and maybe ruin it also. But individuals like us are also systems, but we are living systems. Now, the difference between a non-living system like the mobile phone and a living systems like us individuals is that living systems have these properties. One is it grows. Unlike the mobile phone, which is left alone and doesn't, remains as it is, individuals have to grow. Any living system, for example, organization is a living system. And what happens? Organizations grow. Cells have a living system, so cells grow, and so on. Right? They also have the property of procreation. Organizations create other organizations. Individuals procreate other individuals. Cells grow, procreate. They also have the property of locomotion. Locomotion means being able to change from one state to another state. It's a kind of movement, not necessarily physical movement, transporting from one state to another. For example, in an organization, take about your goods, the finished goods. To begin with, the level, these are called level variables in systems theory. The level variable of what you call inventory is 0 to start with, finished goods inventory. But as the organization moves on, what happens? This finished goods inventory goes up to a higher level. So that is what was called locomotion. It moves. So this is dynamism. Locomotion is a dynamism in every system. It has to move in order to achieve its purpose. So fundamentally, what does it mean? A system exists because of a purpose. And that is something very fundamental to remain. And I've earlier talks, we have been told as meditators that as living individuals, you have a purpose, whether you like it or whether you know about it or not, because you cannot be a system, because a system exists because of a purpose. So let us try to understand it more simplistically. It can be whatever system it is, whether it's a living, whether it's a human being, it's a society, it's an organization, it's a nation, whatever. There can be described through this particular diagram, which I will share with you. Yeah. Please take a look at the diagram. This is a very simple diagram which explains the entire concept of system without any complication. The deeper you want to go into it, then you deeper you go into the diagram. But what is important to us, this diagram is this. As I told you, there is the purpose. No system can exist without a purpose. You see this box, this is the boundary of this. This is the boundary of the system within which there are various items. This is called the process. The way the components inside interact with each other is called the process. And the process results in the output which meets the purpose. Take, for example, this very Saturday master class that is going on. Right now, this is a kind of a system. The purpose is for us to exchange information about a particular topic. Here we are, you and I, our components are part of this. The technology that is being used is a part of it. The way it is being connected is part of it. The way it is linked is part of it. And so there is all, and the way I talk and you are listening, this is the kind of interaction that is taking place, the result of which is the output, which leads to the purpose being exchange information about a particular topic. Now, where do these components come from? You, I, the technology, the hardware, the laptop that I'm using, they all have to come from outside the particular system that we're using, right? So these are called inputs. Inputs are of three kinds: matter, energy, and information. I won't go into those details. Matter, energy, you all know about. Matter, energy are exchangeable. In order to ensure that you're moving towards your purpose, there is this particular feedback called the cybernetic process is called monitoring and control. Monitoring and control means you monitor, get information about where you are going. Are you going towards your purpose? And control is the ability to, or the action of steering this system back towards the direction of the purpose. Or sometimes that may even result that you may want to change the purpose itself. It is not going to the right direction. Fine. Then comes the most important aspect of it, which is called the boundary. Okay. See, we as individual systems, we think we have a physical boundary, right? The physical boundary is the skin that we have. Organizations think that their factory or whatever their compound they're building, that is the boundary. It's only a perceived, I'll come to it. Okay, that's not really the true boundary. Within us, you see, there are systems like the circulatory system, there is the alimentary system, there is the respiratory system, and so on and so forth, right? These are all subsystems. They again interact with each other together, coordinate in a way in order for the system of which they are a system can work. So those systems are usually referred to as subsystems of the body. The body is called the suprasystem of these systems. Similarly, we as individuals are subsystems of the suprasystem called your family, your society, your nation, and so on and so forth. We can go on and discussing about it. That's not the purpose here. Just to explain what this is. So where is this boundary? This is the boundary where beyond which is your suprasystem. Now, what is important here is to understand, especially in the spiritual science point of view, is this boundary is not a physical boundary. It is only a conceptual boundary. In fact, our old sages used to say, if you really want to live, enjoy life, you have to go beyond. What did they mean? We had to go beyond this boundary. Self-realization actually meant realizing that we are bounded by the five senses which we are trapped in. But to really understand, you'll have to go beyond that, this boundary. Actually, coming to the main issue now, the boundary that is within is where all the process, all the interaction takes place, even our mind, the action, etc. If you look at it, I said it is only a conceptual boundary. What is within this is called the inner world. It is corporeal. What is without the boundary, our conceptual boundary, that is where we have limited our boundary. If you go beyond it, what is it? It is the ethereal world. First, therefore, coming back to our purpose. Just remember the diagram. I'll stop sharing this screen so I can talk to you directly. So now you see what happens is we talk about the purpose. Now, knowing the purpose leads to self-esteem. Monitoring control tries to tell you that we are uncontrolled. We have a personal power to control our direction. Self-esteem itself constitutes a measure of two ideas: self-confidence and self-worth. If you are self-confident, you are very productive. Now, it's a misconcept. People say that the more things you do, the more productive you are more confident. Actually, it's the other way. It's not true. You become more productive if you have. So confidence comes first, self-confidence. The more confident you are, and you have been told in meditation quite often how you develop your confidence, belief in yourself, faith in yourself. So the more confident you are, the more productive you are. So the more, it's a kind of a circle. The more productive you are, it builds your confidence. Yes, yeah, I'm capable of this. But it is your confidence you must have and say, believe, look, I will do it, I can do it. And then that's where productivity begins. Self worth is the acceptance that you're worthy of living. It's very unfortunate. You see many often tragedies where people take their lives. People take their lives most often when they're at the nadir of self worth. They say, I'm not worth it. I'm not worth living. In fact, Albert Camus, the philosopher, he said there are only two questions with philosophy. Two decisions you have to make, to live or not to live. That's the only two things he used to say. So, self worth, the people who are low self worth start questioning whether it's worth living at all. But people who have self worth, which is what we have to, that is, belief in oneself, results in what is called as joy in life. Productivity and the feeling of joy in life is what creates awareness. And this awareness again creates results in self esteem, according to Nathaniel Brandon, who is a psychologist philosopher. Now, we all know we attempt through meditation to become aware, not at that moment of meditation alone. So, meditation, as Osho says, is not what just you sit for 20 minutes or half an hour. Meditation is what the way you live beyond that. Okay, that is a belief in awareness. Monitor and control, I told you. When you know about this in system, there is something more. That means it tells you it is your duty, it is your responsibility to take control of your life. Very often, we may not know our own purpose. But if you're going in the right direction, if you're trying to control a flight, move it in the way that makes you comfortable, you're actually moving towards your purpose. Then, having said that, let's come back to the boundary. I said the inner world is limited. It's called the corporeal world or material world. It is, as you know, limited. It limits us because this corporeal world and material world is entirely determined by our five senses. We create our personality, we create our identity by with these five senses, which are part of your body, which is part of matter. But as you are aware, quantum physics also tells you, so does astrophysics later on, you that the whole cosmos is full of energy and we are just suspect. We are the neutrinos, as it is called. We are part of the neutrinos, which is part when the Big Bang came. A lot of neutrinos are the first fundamental particles of it. And those neutrinos pass through all the planets, all the other cosmic entities, cosmic, what you call artifacts, and reached us. And we are part of that neutrino. So we are nothing. We are part of that energy, you must remember. How much we may think. So instead of that, what do? We think this is us. And this limitness comes not only from the five senses, but from what all we hear. Your teachers, your parents, the preachers, the priests, who keep telling us this is right, this is wrong, you can do this, you cannot do that. They do it in a not in a bad way. Actually, it's what they think is for your own well-being. Because unfortunately, they're also limited by your own thinking. And it requires a sense of maturity in us to understand it is their viewpoint. It is not necessarily what you are. So, in order to do that, what we do, we'll have to go and think of what is called, go through what is called as self-realization. It is self-realization which is pushes this boundary of your system. The boundary you have studied is only conceptual. You have to keep pushing that boundary. Okay? Now, as you keep pushing those boundary, you discover more and more of yourself and more of what's out there. That reminds me of the book Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani. Those of you who haven't heard her, and certainly I would love, it will be good to read her book. Anita Moorjani was this lady who developed severe, came from a very big business family in textiles. She was living from Bombay and Hong Kong. Mainly she was living in Hong Kong. And she developed severe cancer. She read what happened to her cancer, how it developed, etc. And she actually, it became so bad, they couldn't do anything about it. It was in Hong Kong, in the hospital. She says she actually died. Because even in her death, you say the ethereal body takes time to move. She could hear her father-in-law coming up and talking about how to perform these rituals. They had covered her body with the white cloth. Her mother coming and weeping out there. All this could feel. But something in her said, no, I've got to tell these people this experience. It's a very long story and how she recovered and then completely now she's a spiritual scientist, preaches, she has her own website, so on and talks about experiences. But what is the most interesting that she explains in one of her during that moment of momentary death that she had, she really discovered the vastness of what there is, the boundary, the limitness. I talked about the system boundary. She looked at how this boundary is completely expanded. And the example she uses to explain this is very interesting, very easy to understand. She says, when you go into a warehouse, what you may do is put on your torchlight, flashlight, and look at those areas, those crates which you are interested in. That is a very limited area of the warehouse that you see. But the moment you switch on the main lights in the warehouse, you see how vast the warehouse is. There are so many things out there, not just what you are interested in. This is the example she gives about how she felt. During that time, she found that what really is there is so vast, we can't imagine. It's like switching on the main lights of the warehouse. And it is what we should aim at. When we say expand our boundary, in fact, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, is Michael Singer in Tethered Soul. He talks about how you go around to feel like the place, buy the place, and build a house. What do you do actually? You want to go to like the place, enjoy the environment, but you build 4 walls around you. Then you sit inside, you cover the walls, glass ceiling, so you have to switch on lights. Then you have to put on air conditioning to get the atmosphere. You came here because outside environment, but what you have done, you have limited your life to this house. And that's what we are doing all the time. We believe we want to enjoy ourselves, but we limit ourselves with these things. So the real world, corporeal is inside the boundary of the system. Ethereal world is outside the boundary. And what we need to do is keep expanding the boundary. Not just imaginatively, but through your feeling. We've had moments, most of us, during meditation. Sometimes we get into a deep mystical experience when you don't feel any boundary at all. Haven't we had? Many of you? When you feel a number of things that you never thought they were there. It may be just blank field, but some of you may have mystical experience where somebody comes, your master comes and gives you messages. We've seen all kinds of experience. That is when you are actually gone right out of the world. So, what does it mean to us? Why am I talking to you about this? This is where it actually comes about our need to understand systems. The systems in the applied sense. If we understand that there is a purpose, there's a process, there are inputs. You'll be careful in what inputs you will use, what kind of thinking, thoughts, what kind of people, etc. you'll use, how you will interact with them to achieve your purpose, controlling how you go about this, and then try to keep expanding your boundary as far as high as possible. And that is where I'm very much impressed by what the astrophysicists are talking. On the one hand, in the meditation, we talk a lot about quantum physics, which tells us about energy. And because we are part of energy, we are not physical material. So there is a possibility of energy spreading around, and then we look at possibilities. We try to map on to those possibilities. That is wonderful. Yes. But if you further go beyond to astrophysics, you look at the cosmos itself. As I mentioned, I don't want to go into the details. The whole cosmos, what is called the meta-universe, metaverse, not universe. There's not just one single universe. There's a very detailed study about that mathematically. But there, what you say is, if you look at this whole thing, that is nothing but energy. Energy is what? Particles of information is there in electromagnetic, called in bits. Now, in fact, by studying black holes, they found was the theory is you go into the black hole and you get absorbed. What? No, the information remains there, is trapped there. And what we see as life around us is nothing but visual light going, gathering this information and creating an holographic effect. In other words, we are nothing but part of that vastness out there. And the wonderful thing about it is to understand, we say matter, but there's something called antimatter. The idea of antimatter was actually first predicted by a young man in Netherlands somewhere during the 18th century, but everyone ignored it. They said, how can it be? It's foolish. Along with this, called the dark energy. But much recently, somebody picked it up and talked about, and then came the question of antimatter. What is antimatter? Opposite matter. The result of it is, why don't we see it? The matter that we see, as I told you, most of its energy is very minuscule because there's always a clash between matter and antimatter. This clash is what creates the dance, or what we call the Shiva Tandavam of the universe. Constant clashing. So space is not empty, it's energy. How does it, when you clash each other, you release energy. So the clash of matter and antimatter results this whole energy, and which is also called the dark energy, which has filled the whole cosmos. And we are part of it. Why am I fascinated by that? I hope you are too, because the moment I think about this cosmic dance, the clash of the matter and antimatter, and where astrophysics is taking us, tells me, there is that world. When I close my eyes, all I need to is imagine there I am in a rocket ship out there in that beautiful expanse. I don't know where we are going. Nobody knows. In fact, there is a sutra. See, there are suktas on in the Vedas, which talks about different possibilities of creation. Purusha Sukta, for example, is the Big Bang equivalent to the Big Bang theory. There is the embryonic thing. There is the Vishwakarma. But the last Sukta, which says, okay, things came from nothing. How it came, I don't know. And it doesn't matter that I should know, as long as I part of it and I enjoy life. There's a lot one can talk about systems theory if you're interested, because I'm been very much fascinated. That's why I have got systems theory in my heart, literally. But I said applied systems theory here because this is what I want to do. Think of yourself a system with a purpose, with a boundary, with the ability to monitor and with the need to monitor and control. And think of you, your system, with a limited boundary. Think of you as part of a larger system with a larger boundary. And you will see you can really enjoy life. Meditation helps you, at least sometimes with consistency, to kind to identify yourself with this larger system. Thank you. Is there any questions? I'm prepared to answer them. Namaste. I'm Dem Laddi. If there are any questions, I'm prepared to answer them. Otherwise, we can. There's something in the chat. Oh, the diagram was not visible. I'm sorry. I'll play that. I'll show the diagram again. I don't know why it was not. 1 second. Was that true of everyone? For everyone? 1 second. Did I share it? Is the diagram visible now? Ladni?
Yes, sir. Diagram is the visible now. Now I am able
Okay,
to
sorry.
see.
So this is the diagram that I talk about. The purpose for which the system exists, the process which results the output leading to the purpose. The feedback here is called the cybernetic process, monitoring and control, the inputs and the boundary. And this, the boundary I was talking about quite a bit. The inner side is the boundary, is the corporeal world. Outside the boundary is your ethereal world. You need both of them. You need both of them. It's not just you have to focus only on outside the ethereal world, and then you can't do that. You need both of them. Okay? Right. Sorry for that earlier. I wish I had seen the chat earlier. Okay. So we can close it. There are questions. Okay, Ladni, if there are no questions, we can close it.
Friends, if you wanted to ask any questions or else if you want to share your experience, please do raise your hand so that I'll promote you as panelist. You can interact with Jagadish sir. You can use the Q&A option as well to ask your questions. Please utilize this
Oh,
opportunity.
there's a question. Do we need to, yeah. Are there any examples or ways we can expand the boundary apart from meditation? Yes. See, for example, much before meditation, I got into the knowledge about systems, right? So once you understand this, the boundary is only conceptual. So you can conceptual with whatever knowledge you have. I said people have used mathematical equations to conceptualize what is required of a nation. Now, if you are one of those people like me, you can conceptualize a boundary which is not limited by nation. Nations are made by human beings. And you see, the history of Europe, there are several nations on and on. So it doesn't make sense. And that's why you have all these conflicts and so on and so forth. So you conceptualize a method by way saying, look, I don't believe in nation. I don't believe in nation. Okay, somebody might arrest me saying I'm anti-national. I am, because I don't believe in nationality. I believe in what is called a supranationality. And I had discussed this. Patriji sir is also agreed with that. He was happy when I said we believe in should be supranationality. So that is one way of looking. Meditation helps you because why? It allows you to think. What is called a system to thinking of Kahneman. Meditation helps you get out because your analytical mind is very judgmental. So the judgment say why, but meditation helps you to get rid of judgmental, and therefore you are in a more open mind. You're more open to ideas, and that is why you can extend the boundary, expand the boundary beyond that. But even without meditation, if you are capable of being an open-minded person, there are many like that. You can extend the boundary, and I don't know whether I should go into these details, but just in the Upanishads also I forget the name of the saint who advises King Janaka. He tells him exactly this. Self-realization is going beyond self-realization is going beyond what you are, he says. Right? So he doesn't talk of meditation. He says just go beyond what you are. And that's what Janak Maharaja was supposed to be a very, very good king, right? Can you please help with the names of books? Plenty. The first fundamental book, I don't know whether it's in print or not, is called General Systems Theory by von Bertalanffy. Let me put it on the chat, okay? Let me put that on the chat. Oops. Okay. So one is General Systems Theory. By this is the first one, von Bertalanffy. I also refer to Bertalanffy. Okay. Then there is I talked about Nathaniel Brandon. There are several books of his. The one probably I'll help you is the psychology of self-esteem. This is by Nathaniel Brandon. Brandon. See, there are several books on astrophysics that I have read. At the moment, the names I have to, because I have read quite a few. You just go to Amazon, for example, looks for astrophysics. There are several books, and you will know some very easy ones you have to go through. Then there is, of course, Johnson et al. That is systems analysis, systems approach, or systems analysis, systems approach. Okay, to management by Johnson et al. There's also systems approach book by sorry, I maybe I'll send the list later on. Don't you see this on chat, Ladni? I put this on chat. Cannot everyone see the chat? I typed all this. Ladni? Can they not see the chat? Is the chat not open for them? Hello? Well, Ladni? Hello? Ladni? She can't hear me, I think. Oh, it goes to only hosts and panel. Wait, let me see if it can.
Sir, chat is open for everyone, sir.
But they say they can't see the chat. Oh, you did just now. Okay.
Yeah, I did this. Yeah.
Now, can they see? Oh, yeah, correct. To hosts and panelists, it says correct.
Yeah, it's for everyone, sir. No.
Now, can they see? You just see, I think it seems only by hosts and panelists. But now they see, I can't see chat. You must send everyone the top tab. Okay, right. Let's see. Uh, one second. How do I make this into?
I'll try to paste all our chat once again. Let them,
Okay,
because
please with it. Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
it
it
is
goes to only
open.
host and panel. Yeah. Now it goes only to host and panelists, not everyone. Okay, should have gone to everyone. Now I put
Ah,
everyone, but you will
yeah.
type that? You
Yeah,
retype the chat?
I'll just copy and paste this.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Just a second.
In the meanwhile, just one. I'll.
Sir, I think I'm unable to paste the chat.
Okay.
Chat.
Uh, One second. There's a question there. It's a very complicated question. You're such an esteemed academician and researcher after these many years. What would you advise young researchers, young academics that we should know? Just follow your heart and work for it. Curiosity is what is important for an academic, for a researcher. If you want to be a researcher, it is curiosity. I think it is curiosity which has led me to read a lot of books, both from literature, philosophy, as well as spiritual science. And it's curiosity. You have to be curious about it. That's all. That's all that I can advise. If you want to have a one-on-one chat with you later on, we can do and discuss that. But my general advice is curiosity. Be curious and be focused. You see, one man can be curious and we can say, I will do it from today, but you don't commit yourself. You have to commit time for that. And I'm always upset with people say we don't have time for anything, which is not true at all. If you just look at the amount of time, if you audit the time, every hour time that you have spent a day for 2 days, and you'll see how much of time is just squandered away. So there's no such thing there's no time. If you want to do something, you don't say, I'll find time and do it. On the other hand, you say, I'm going to do it, then I'll find time for it. You can do that. And once you do that, develop your curiosity, commit yourself. Okay. And you don't have to see many books also repeat. Books are the best way to learn. And today, I'm not totally recommended, but to some extent, if you want to see, there are artificial intelligence, AI, things like Perplexity. Perplexity is one I use as a search engine quite often. But you have to compare. You just have to one thing, and you have to use your own brain, whether you accept it or not, because sometimes you misinterpret. So you can have AI tools from which you can pick up some of these ideas. Go this one, you get an idea, become curious about it, and pick up the book or pick up talks. Today, so many things. Tech talks, for example. Don't go through any ordinary YouTube channels and they talk, because they mostly do say things because they will get money by becoming an influencer. Instead, go to TED Talk. So if you go through Perplexity, you get interested in a particular topic you want to be curious about and you want to do research about, go to TED Talks, listen to the experts who talk about that subject, and then go and read your own, do your own research work. That's what I would advise. There's so much. And so that's what keeps me going. I'm 82 years old, but my enthusiasm goes on, energy goes on only because of that curiosity. I always pick up certain things. Okay. And there's so much in our own literature. Go through our own literature. There's so many people. Eknath Ishwaran, for example, is one of my favorite authors. Then Muktananda of Bhagavad Gita thing. Then there is, of course, uh, the story of Indian philosophy by Datta. There are so many people. You can read all that and keep reading them. Anything else? You couldn't paste it. I have to retype, right? The books? Okay, read the books. I just read the books. General Systems Theory by Ludwig, sorry. Systems Theory by Ludwig von Bertalanffy. This is one. Systems Management by Johnson et al. The Psychology of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Brandon. Dying to be Me. Dying to be Me by Anita Moorjani. The Untethered Soul. The Third Soul by Michael Singer. Michael Singer, etc. There are many, many books like this. I have a lot of books, but I don't remember the authors' names now, so I don't want to put it. Anything else? Any more question on the chat? Yeah, no, I think you can hear. Okay, now they can see you, I think. Okay, any more questions? Then we can. One new message. Oh, that's thank you. Gratefully, yeah, thank you. Yes, I'll put my email ID. I will certainly be eager to talk to. Yes, yes. Oh, so. Okay. Okay. The messages, we can questions. I think we can close it. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, all of those who have listened to this. I know the webinar mode is not as comfortable as open, but webinars are required for security reasons in these cases. Thank you. Welcome, all of you. Greetings, friends and masters. Have a nice day. Have a nice life. Think about systems hereafter. Applied system, I call it. If you go to systems theory, it's a different thing. Think about systems. Think of cosmos. You are part of that cosmos. Think of read great authors. Also read Patriji's messages. There are two books about Patriji's messages. Please pick them up and you'll get a lot of. Okay. Ladni, can you close now?
Yes, sir, we can close it. I'll had a couple of announcements. Friends, as it tomorrow is a Sunday, all Sundays we had a long guided meditations. So please do join for the long guided meditation on tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. IST. Thank you, Jagadish sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. But we are making sure people to be comfortable with the webinar mode. It will take
Yeah,
some time. We are
no,
working
that
on
is
it.
necessary. Webinar is necessary because
Yeah.
a lot of hacking is going on web these days on Zoom.
Yes,
So
sir.
to prevent that, these kinds of things are put on webinar. Uh, Unfortunate, people are hacking these things, so that's why they're
Yeah.
inserting their messages using whiteboard and messing up the.
Mm.
That's why webinar is important.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.